Sorry for the late upload, I got distracted doing a bunch of other things, but I'm here now, and I've got a really interesting piece of news to cover here, because we just saw a level get verified that could potentially be a top 10. The top 10 recently has been pretty stable, however, there's a ton of looming levels that are potentially gonna shake up the list a lot. There's a ton of top 1 to 3 levels that are about to be verified, but that means that a lot of people haven't really been focusing on the levels that are around this kind of nullscapes to Ashley Wave Trials difficulty that are about to come out, and we're actually seeing one get verified that's in that range. This is Bon GD, and if you don't know who this is, it is an extremely talented Russian player who is known for completions like Psychopath. This is what I know Bon the most for. Bon verified Psychopath with CBF, and this was the kind of way that we finally found out that Rob disliked CBF levels and he wouldn't rate them back when it wasn't actually fully implemented into the game. And Bon has also done a lot of really crazy feats, like being the first victor of the Salt Factory. And heading on over to the demon list here, we can see that Bon has a bunch of achievements here, like Deimos, the Salt Factory, Saul Goodman, Deadlier Clubstep, Collapse, Mayhem, Walter Wright, the Anger Ray. They're a really good player. And for a while now, Bon has been posting progress on a level called HERR Machine. We can see here some videos from 8 months ago, getting it in 4 runs, and then 64 to 100. And then as we go through the more recent videos, we can see that there is some random progress that pops up every couple months. And the last couple weeks, Bon has been heavily focusing on HERR Machine, as we see 2 weeks ago. Bon got 85% on HERR Machine, which I believe I covered in a video when this happened, and then after that, Bon got 13 to 100, and then was able to actually verify HERR Machine 5 hours ago, which is what we're talking about today. We'll talk about the actual difficulty of this level a bit later on in the video, but while it's playing here, the verification video, I do just want to talk about the level. Do I like it? What do I think about it? And I think it's a pretty neat level. You know, I don't think it's the best thing ever, but it's very unique for a level of this difficulty range. We've definitely seen a lot of levels that look like this, but we don't really have this kind of style in the current harder end of the list. And it is a very raw level. In terms of gameplay and the way it's presented, it is super raw, kind of like the hard machine minus dry kind of levels, hence how it got the name. And these levels are known for using the official Rob Top kind of level songs, and again, that's what's being used here. And yeah, I just think it's a really neat level. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, and I think that's a nice bit of a change for the top end of the list. A lot of them are very serious. This one clearly isn't. Now, a lot of the times these more joke levels, or not necessarily joke levels, but ones that are just made for fun and not for spectacle, tend to not get rated as much, but I do hope this one does get rated because it does still look very rate-worthy to me. It is really cool, and every single part is very distinct. Like, the animations here are kind of the jelly-like, they just flow really well, and honestly, I just love the level. I can't really talk much about the gameplay because I haven't played it, but I'm sure it's fine. There are some parts that do look pretty annoying to play, but you know, we are comparing to levels at the top of the list, so the standard is kind of a lot lower. Not to say you can't make a great level in the top 20, but as levels get harder, it does kind of become slightly more difficult to make an enjoyable level. Now, as for the difficulty, well, we can just look at Bon's stats for the level. This took 214 days, over 400 hours, and over 277,000 attempts. Now, I am well aware that attempt counts don't really show a person's skill, nor do they show the difficulty of a level that well, but there is to a certain extent where it does have a clear impact, and we can see here, this is the stats for the Salt Factory, which is currently like a top 40, or is it 50 now? It's around there on the list, right? And this took Bon 39,000 attempts, and keep in mind, this was nearly a year ago. So 277,000 attempts show a major step up. We are looking at something that's on the top range of the list here. Bon's personal placement is easier than Nullscapes and harder than Deimos and Anathema, which is kind of understandable because this was a massive jump, right, in difficulty, so it's fair that it's kind of hard to judge it here. But that puts us at the range of probably around, 15 to 6. Now, where I think it will place, I honestly don't really know. But if we look at it, this is going to be a level that's similar to Ashley Wave Trials because it looks very easy. When you take a first look at it, I mean, it doesn't look easy, but it does not look nearly as hard as anything else on the list here. But these kind of raw gameplay levels, they really show their fangs once you actually get down and play them for a large amount of time. Now, where I think this would place, for that attempt count, I think it has to be the higher end of this estimate. I wouldn't say it's probably harder than Penumbral. I feel like it's around Penumbral. If I had to take a shot on where this ends up getting placed, I'm gonna say in between Penumbral and Silent Clubstep at 11, or maybe either that, or maybe it goes above Andromeda. I could see it going above Andromeda. Like, personally, from looking at the gameplay, I haven't played it, so this really doesn't matter at all, but it looks to be like this range. But like, judging by those attempt counts, it has to be higher. Now, I know a lot of people have seen a frame window counter, and with looking at that, they've projected it to be around every end in difficulty. I don't really like to use frame windows as a judgment. I guess that is better than just me giving my opinion and not playing the level at all. But I do think that, it gives an idea on how difficult a level is, as in where the range is at, but it doesn't really tell you precisely how hard a level is, because you can have a really like easy click that is a frame perfect in a way, or that's really a tight window, and vice versa, right? It depends on how it's placed, what game mode it is, what's the overall length of the level as well. There's a lot of other factors that don't really get looked at when you're just looking at frame windows, right? So, I mean, they're very well. Maybe it will end up above every end, but personally, I don't see that. I'm going to see it probably a bit lower, but still incredibly difficult. I also want to use this video to shout out some of the other levels that Bon has verified that I think should be covered. There's another one that recently got verified, but I want to cover this one. As you can see, it's called Lunatic Princess. This is an easier extreme demon, but it's still it just looks really cool. This got verified recently, kind of, as well, so I feel like I could talk about it in this video for a decent bit and not feel like I'm dragging it out. But this is a really cool, kind of dark castle kind of theme. There's this part coming up here. I love what they did with the windows here and the glass. It just looks amazing. It really tries to not, stay with one specific style when you think of, hell or castle style levels. You think of the same decoration over and over again, and this level really attempts to switch it up. And it is red, like it is, yeah, just a red hell level, but I swear, maybe it's just me, but these reds stand out way more to me than any other red level. It's got a really unique look to it. I think it's a remake of Lunatic Doom Machine because, it's got a similar name and it's got the same song. I haven't played it in a while, so I can't remember how the gameplay works. But yeah, this is just a super neat level. If you want to go check this out, I think it deserves some more recognition. Though, it looks a bit harder in top 800. Maybe that's just me. This is the other one, which is much more similar to HERR Machine, which we talked about. But this one is a more modern kind of styled level. And again, it is raw gameplay as well, but it has its unique thing going on. It uses the same song as the level in this, which is currently on the list. I'm getting flashbacks from dropping that after getting 23 to 100. Wait, it uses the same decoration as in this as well. What is this level? But that's pretty much all I have to talk about in this video. I don't want to drag it on too much. But, yeah, thanks for watching all the way through. I am posting shorts now. People might not be happy with that, but these videos will not be affected. I'll still be uploading these news videos daily and my weekly recap on Saturdays. The short videos are just going to be for topics that I really want to cover individually and give specific recognition to. However, it would not really be enough content in that topic to make an actual long form video about it. So they're going to put shorts. The first one's up on the channel right now if you want to see it. But yeah, thanks for watching all the way through, and peace.